lovely viewer. Welcome to Cooking with Ava. Today we're going to do something great with what we call taro leaves, cocoyam leaves, kontomire. Yes, so maybe you have some. I think the Indians call it sundaki. If you have some at home and you want to keep it for a longer time, but you want to keep it fresh, or you don't want to dehydrate or dry it, or turn it into powder, like I've taught earlier on the channel, then this is the video for you. So what usually you get in the market is this. They come in small buns or small ties like that. And yes, sometimes you may not get all of them very fresh in there. So you have to pick out the bad ones from it as well. And most importantly, the stemmy part can be very big and chunky. So you can decide to remove the overly chunky ones. If you want it very smooth as well, you can decide to remove all of it. Now it's good to have a salt water by the side to wash and clean it properly. You can also use vinegar or apple cider, whatever works for you, you can use it. But simple salt and water is good enough to help you clean. When you're washing this, you want to really open up the leaves and then get every part of it well cleaned. Mind you, you don't have to also rub it or put too much pressure on it, else your leaf is going to get a bit wrinkly. Now, when it comes to cocoyam leaves or kontomire leaves or taro leaves, one thing is that the more grown it is, the more itchier it can be as well. So if it's very fresh and it's good, you may finish and you will not have that itch in there as well. So once you've washed all of it and you put it in your colander as you're working, it's going to strain off. Now you can try to cut it how you want it for your stews. You can just use a scissors to just cut it if you have the time for it. But if you're doing the masses, usually your chopping board would work for you. So this is one way you could go about it. Usually when we are doing stews, we like it shredded. Yes, you can use this. You can even use your slicer to just shred it off. Like sometimes you see it on the market, people doing it as well. Now, just in case you don't want to cut it, you want to leave it whole, like you want to do some aboom, that kind of vibe, where you want to cook the whole leaf. Then another way to keep it is to keep it in your fridge for long or for some few days, maybe like maximum 1 week, is to wash and then you wipe it very dry, wipe it clean, because it's the water and the moisture that is going to get it spoiled early. So once you wipe it very clean, you can then polythene it or put it into an airtight bowl, and then it goes into your refrigerator, and that can also last you for some few days as well. And if you want to also shred, like I said, you can cut it using your scissors, you can use your slicer or your shredder, you can also use your knife. The knife always goes faster anyway. So yes, this is how you can also go about it. And when it comes to slicing, depending on how thick you want it, and then how you're going to go about it. So basically, you fold as much leaves as you can into a bundle. You squeeze it or press it as hard as you can, so that when you're cutting, it doesn't disperse, and you're able to really cut it into very cute sizes. So this is another means of cutting it. And mind you, this is very quick. This doesn't take you so much time. Now you have the option to use it, keep it in your polythene or baggage or storage, your storage packs, your ziplocs. You can keep it in like this. This is the whole ones. So you can keep this in your fridge for like a day or two, and then you use it. If you're not going to use it in a day or two, the best is to keep it in your freezer. Yes, you can take this in fresh. When you take it out, you can still be able to use it. That's the beautiful part about this. And so you just have to just squeeze out all the air from it so that it doesn't get moist kind of vibe early. Now, alternatively, you can decide to also parboil it. Yes, so just pour some hot water over it. It's going to soften by itself, and then you can also let it cool down. Then you tie it up for your refrigeration. Yes, and the beauty about this method is that when you're going to cook, you get your leaves the color stays in there like very deep kind of green. So if you use this for ebunu ebunu, you did for whatever you want to do, you did for. Usually you may see some people putting it on fire. I don't really recommend it because we end up overcooking the leaves. And so whether you want it whole or you want it shredded, for preservation, another means you can do is just pour hot water over it, let it drain it off, and then you just let it cool. So your hot water, it doesn't even stay in for a minute or two. Some few once you pour it on, you just have to be ready to just drain it off because these are very delicate stuff. You don't want to overcook them. And this can also last you maybe a day or two, maximum 3 days in the fridge. And then if you want to keep it for longer, keep it in your freezer. Your freezer, you can keep it in for like 6 months, 1 year, but I don't really recommend keeping food in freezers for over 6 months. As you putting them in, be mindful of clearing them as well. And as the plain ones that we mocked out, we cleaned out, you can keep them in the fridge, like I said, for like 3 days, maximum 1 week. Then you clear as well. So this is how to realistically work with your contumely in your house. This is how I do it at my end, and it helps me whenever I want to make my contumely stew, my abum, or my ebunu ebunu. So till I see the next food video, do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love for my team and I. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.